Hey there, this video is about procrastination. But before we dive into this video, I want you to ask yourself this question. And you can ask yourself this question with every personal growth, healing, or transformative video that you are watching. Is it really necessary for you to absorb all this information? Is it really necessary for you to understand what procrastination is? Is it really necessary to gather the information about this topic or any other topic? Or are you using watching these videos as procrastination itself, or as numbing your emotions itself, or as running away from your own truth? Ask yourself this question before we dive into this video. And if the answer is yes, I really want to genuinely, that's a hard English word. I genuinely want to know what procrastination is so that I can understand this pattern and recognize this pattern inside of me so it won't hold me back anymore from healing, from discovering who I truly am, or from transforming myself and my life and making my dreams come true. Then stick with me and let's dive into it. But first, my name is Myrthe Glasbergen. I'm the founder and owner of Beyond Psychology, and I'm also an occupational health psychologist, coach, singer, and creator. And I am fascinated about everything that has to do with the healing journey, with rediscovering who you truly are, freeing your authentic self, and empowering yourself to transform yourself and your life so that you will find the courage to use your talents and gifts to make the world a better place. I strongly believe that healed people heal the world, and this is why I'm so passionate about everything that I do, including procrastination, because I am also a very good champion in procrastinating and not creating the things that I want to create, holding myself back, blocking myself, having all kinds of thoughts that really are, that really hold me back from taking the steps that I need to create the vision that I have inside of me. And procrastination is a very fascinating thing, right? I mean, we have this desire, this dream inside of us. We have meditated maybe a lot or visualized our dreams, and we find the courage and the inspiration to do what we want to do, and we create this to-do list. And then the moment that we want to start with truly taking the steps and creating our dreams, we all of a sudden distract ourselves, we numb ourselves, we just leave the work that we have to do, go do completely different things, feel resistance, feel anger, feel sadness, feel grief, feel anxiety, feel insecurity, and we are like the worst cheerleader for ourselves. We tell ourselves, who do you think you are? You don't know shit. You are a bad person for wanting this. You're not ready yet. You have to figure more things out, etc. And this is so draining, right? It's really a big energy leak, and we feel all of a sudden really tired, and we think like, maybe I first need to sleep before I start with creating, etc. And it's almost as if there is a war going on inside of us, right? The one part that really wants to create, and the other part that really doesn't want us to do anything at all, that wants us to stay safe, to stay where we are, to freeze, to not take steps, to not take action, and that does everything it has in its power to hold you back, to stop you from taking the steps to get where you want to be. So why do you do that? Why, when you have this desire and you know somewhere what you have to do, you're not doing anything, or you're doing the wrong things, or you feel completely anxious or overwhelmed? To understand that, you have to, of course, understand what procrastination is. And in essence, procrastination is nothing more than a mixture of three things: fear, guilt, and shame. When you find yourself procrastinating, it is possible that you do not take the steps that you want to take because of a fear of abandonment, a fear of rejection, or a fear of failure. It's also possible that you procrastinate because you feel guilty towards your parents, for example, towards your family or friends, towards your children, for taking steps towards the things you love and growing and transforming, and maybe leaving them behind. Maybe you feel really ashamed for who you truly are because you were shamed in the past by your father or your mother for the most authentic parts of you. So how is it possible? How is it possible that such a superficial thing as procrastination has such deep suppressed emotions behind it? Why fear? Why guilt? Why shame? How is it possible that something like that is holding you back from taking the steps to get where you want to be? What to understand that? You have to understand that as a little child, you are very dependent on the people around you for your survival. You are so helpless as a little human being. You cannot survive on your own. So the number one thing that you are constantly seeking is connection and attachment with the people around you. And when this connection and attachment goes in a healthy, emotionally mature way, you will learn how to become a resourceful and resilient human being. You understand yourself, you know how to deal with your emotions, you know what your emotions are, and you also get the chance to authentically develop yourself. Your authentic self-expression is encouraged. You are seen for who you truly are, and you are encouraged to develop yourself into an authentic individual. But this is in a very perfect world and we're not living in a perfect world yet. We're living in a very emotionally immature world with a lot of trauma, relational trauma, emotional trauma, physical trauma. And it is possible that your parents are living from their own trauma and their own shortcomings and their own conditionings and their own shame and blame and guilt and fear, and they project this onto you when you were a little child. They definitely do, even if they don't want to. They're not always aware of that. So it's possible that in the past, when you were like singing or showing your drawings or talked about what you talk about a lot, it is possible that there weren't people around you to really receive that and see that, to really receive you and validate you in your authentic self-expression. It is even possible that you were ridiculed, punished, rejected, shamed, or blamed for that. And what you felt then was a distancing from the people you are dependent on, a disconnection. They didn't understand you, they couldn't hear you, they didn't bother, or they even shamed or punished you for your behavior, which was maybe very authentic. And this creates an enormous split and pain inside of you, and the pain and the shame and the grief around that is too heavy to process, so you suppress that. And you have to choose in that moment for attachment or authenticity. That is how it goes in your child's brain. You see the world in black and white and you internalize everything. So if you are blamed, you immediately think it is you. You are the bad person. You are wrong. You are not worthy. It's your fault, etc. So you have to choose between connection and attachment or authenticity in that moment. And most of the time you choose attachment and connection over authenticity. So you stuff all those parts inside of you, your emotions, your wisdom, your authenticity, your joy, your whatever, what was shamed or blamed or ridiculed or punished or not seen. You stuff it away and you try to seek for connection. And these experiences shape you. They form your identity. And this differs per person, of course. It differs per family system, per parent, per relationship, per individual. But the mechanism, the process stays the same. You suppress parts inside of you out of shame, guilt, or fear of rejection and abandonment. And then you grow up, you're an adult now, and you have these dreams and you want to transform yourself in your life and you're on this personal growth journey and you are discovering more and more your authentic self again. And now you want to take the steps. You want to start with expressing your authentic self, what is living inside of you, and you find yourself procrastinating. It is still possible that the hurt inner parts of you, the fragmented parts, the inner child parts of you are still tied to those negative experiences in the past. And they are doing everything they can to protect you from ever experiencing that pain of disconnection from the people around you again. That pain of feeling alone and helpless, ashamed, a bad person, unworthy, a failure. Because that were the stories that you created when you were blamed, shamed, mocked, ridiculed, neglected. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm not important. I'm a bad person. I must be really bad. And you created protection or coping mechanisms to deal with that pain and to make sure that you still receive the love, the recognition, the validation that you so need as a little child to grow up into a resourceful and resilient human being. And these protection mechanisms can be people-pleasing, can be learned helplessness, can be staying silent, making yourself small, blowing yourself up, fighting, competing, avoiding, clinging on to something. It can be that you think you have to read every book about the subject you're interested in before you can do something with it. It can be that you say to yourself, you have to be a perfect person. You have to make sure that everybody likes you before you can start doing that. Otherwise, you're not allowed to do that. It can be all kinds of things, all kinds of stories and beliefs that you created because of those negative experiences emotionally and relationally in your past. And it's this pain that you try to prevent yourself from experiencing again. So procrastination is a protection mechanism. It's coming out of such a deep sense of unsafety and helplessness and feeling alone. You really want to be safe. There is a part inside of you that really says, wait, I don't feel safe. Please listen to me. Please feel me. Please honor me. Please acknowledge me before we go and do this. Maybe there's a part inside of you that feels, I'm not ready yet. I need some support or protection or guidance. Maybe there's a part inside of you that says, what if I'm wrong? What if I end up all alone? What if when I take those steps, people will abandon me? So if you really feel blocked by that part, it is time to take a deep dive inside and to make contact with that part inside of you that feels so unsafe to move on. And it's time to shine light on that part, to listen to it, to acknowledge it, to ask it what it needs. And of course, the most helpful and healing thing to do when you find yourself procrastinating is taking action, taking the tiny little steps, doing the things anyway, breaking it into even more smaller steps. You have a goal, you have a vision, you have a dream. Rewind. Where are you right now? What can you do today? Can you start with writing one page of your book, one sentence? Can you start with creating one video? Can you start with exercising for 10 minutes or 5 minutes? And then just work with the resistance that comes up. But if it still feels overwhelming and you want to work with the procrastination, I want to understand it first, I want to work with the parts inside of you that are resisting, then I will advise you to go take a pen and paper or just go sit with yourself, take a couple of deep breaths and just ask yourself, okay, what is the first step that I can take or what I can do to get where I want to be? And then just invite the resistance. I want to invite the resistance towards those steps, towards taking action. I want to invite the part inside of me that procrastinates. It asks of you to do a little bit of parts work. And if you go to my web shop or go to the links down below, you can find my platform where I have all kinds of exercises for you to do parts work, to work with shame, to work with guilt, to work with your fears, to work with procrastination, etc. And I've created exercises where I take you on this inner journey to make contact with the parts inside of you that feel fear, guilt, or shame, to listen to them, to release the heavy, intense emotions behind it, and to integrate them, to understand why you are procrastinating. Because that's the most important thing, to shine light on the most shadowy parts inside of you, and to soothe them, to heal them, to integrate them. But you can also do it just like right now, okay, thinking about taking the first step. What happens inside of me? What are thoughts that come up? What are beliefs that I have? And just start talking. Like, let's say you want to create a YouTube channel and you have to create your first video, but you keep on procrastinating making that video. Okay, let's say in 1 hour I'm going to make that video. And then just write all the thoughts that come up. All the beliefs you have, like, I don't want to create that stupid video. Why do I have to do that? I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm a bad person, whatever, everything that comes up. And just listen to it and ask that part questions. Hey, why? What's the resistance? Why are you here? How can I help you? What do you need? What do you fear the most? Can you take me back to the situation where you were created? What is behind this? What are we most afraid of, etc.? Take the time to really understand that part. But understand that behind the procrastination is always fear, guilt, or shame, or even a complete mixture of these three things. And that these feelings and heavy, intense emotions and blockages are connected to negative experiences from your past, often in the relationship with your mother and or your father, when they blamed you, shamed you, punished you, ridiculed you, distanced themselves from you, or even when they emotionally neglected you and you were just never really seen for who you truly are, and you had to create some kind of persona to be seen and a little bit accepted and loved in some way. And it could be that peeling off all those layers could help you to finally start with taking action instead of procrastinating. But it could also be that you understand, I'm just afraid to fail. I'm just feeling really guilty. I understand it now. Now I know what to do to start taking action. Now I can take that part inside of me that resists change the most, hold it, soothe it, say, hey, it's okay, I know you're afraid, but let's go do it anyway. What do you want to do? What are your ideas about this, etc.? Introspection is important, integration is important, healing is important, but authentic self-expression in the end is the most healing thing there is. Good luck, and any questions, ask them below this video. Have a nice day. Hey there, my name is Myrthe Glasbergen. I'm the founder of Beyond Psychology, and I'm also an occupational health psychologist, life and job coach, intuitive singer, and creator. And I am fascinated about the awakening and healing of humanity. I strongly believe that healed people heal the world, and this is why I'm doing everything I can to help heal as many people as possible. So if you're on a journey of self-discovery, personal growth, transformation, healing, and you want to rediscover who you truly are and change yourself in your life, then subscribe to my channel for more videos on all of these topics. And if you want to help spread this message of awakening and healing, then please like this video, share this video, respond to this video, because that will definitely help. In my subscription, you can find a nice link to a free somatic exercise to start your healing journey. And you can also find the link to my online platform and community for self-discovery, healing, transformation, and growth. It's called Heart Journey, and it's here to help you rediscover who you truly are, heal yourself, transform yourself in your life so that you will use your talents and your gifts to make the world a better place. Thank you for being here, and have a nice day.